Heyo! My name is Sarah, and today's book review is on The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. Second book and conclusion to The Crown's Game. For those of you who don't know, last year I did my book world tour, and our stop in Russia was The Crown's Game, so this is the epic conclusion. So yeah, non-spoilers. I give this 4 out of 5 stars. It basically picks up right where we left off, like a couple of weeks, with Nikolai still a shadow, Vika becoming the Imperial Enchanter, and Pasha about to become Tsar of Russia. So you just know things aren't going to go well for our trio, because we got possible coup, we got crazy magic going around, and we have a dead woman walking around St. Petersburg. When I was like, maybe we should get rid of her before things go crazy, but no one listens to me. So yeah, it's basically very crazy. I will admit, the first few chapters I had to get into it, but then it just takes off right there. This is like the warm-up, the first few chapters like the warm-up, and then we're off. So yeah, that's as far as I can get into non-spoilers, people. So yeah, The Crown's Fate. Second book to The Crown's Game, 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, check it out. So yeah, bye non-spoilers. Spoilers. So again, no one listens to me when I say maybe we should get rid of this character before the hell breaks loose, because that's what basically happens. This whole book is Izana's fault. I mean, seriously. Okay, so we have Pasha, who's a little bit depressed about what happened about Nikolai dying. We have Vika, who's not really talking to Pasha unless it's with his proper title. And we got Nikolai, who's still stuck as a shadow, blaming Pasha for making the game end, right? Well, Pasha's stuck in the dream bench as a shadow, the little loophole to get past the whole Crown's Game rule and everything. So, Vika goes to Renata, who was, in the previous book, Nikolai's friend, and tries to tell him what's going on, but he's, in his mind thinking, oh my god, Vika chose Pasha over me, and all that stuff, hashtag Visha forever. So, yeah. Izana, she apparently visits Nikolai in the dream bench and everything. And of course, being the guy he is, he's only going to seep off some small magic from people who still wander there. But Izana's like, just kill them. It won't matter. So when he's sleeping, Izana pours her dark magic into him, and he gets out as no longer a shadow, but he goes dark, people. He joined the dark side, and they did not have cookies. If we had avoided Izana this whole time, but we have just gotten rid of her in the first book, I'm pretty sure this would have been a smaller, less complicated book, people, because Nikolai just goes off the deep end, and in his mind he believes that he is the rightful prince to become Tsar, because apparently everyone's still starting to doubt Pasha's legitimacy, and thus Nikolai is the oldest, even though he's a bastard. No. So, Vika is giving Pasha the cold shoulder and everything, and Yelena... Okay, I had my doubts about Yelena for a while, but she is I respect her now. She is the character that will make difficult decisions that no one wants to make. So, yeah, she's doing all this hard work to prove that not only is Pasha the legitimate heir by going through all of her mother's old letters, which apparently is a lot... She's also still coming up with plans how to stop Nikolai, because now he's targeting Pasha using magic and everything. It's like, whoa. And so, for a while, Vika's giving Pasha the cold shoulder, calling him your Imperial Highness or whatever, and Pasha's depressed. But eventually, they start growing up in a way. So we have a good character development going around, especially with Pasha. And things are going crazy. Nikolai confronting Pasha about his legitimacy. With Vika there, trying to keep them from fighting, and he sees the bracelet that binds her to who will become Tsar. He unleashes magic into St. Petersburg by possessing the Peter the Great's statue who goes around saying, the Grand Prince is alive, the Pavel Romanov is bastard, blah blah blah, and Vika has to use magic to stop it. Well, a lot of people are bound to wake up if you hear a statue man shouting words and the lightning turns him into mush. So, good thing Russia's getting a lot of believers, meaning Vika and sadly Nikolai's magic is growing stronger. Bad thing. We got two bad things. People are now are freaking out because they're going like, witch, blah, blah, blah. Which gets really out of hand, really. And for those of you who know me, tiny details bug me. And when they go unaddressed and the series ends and I'm left hanging, it bothers me because Russia's magic is starting to grow. We have a Baba Yaga's house walking around forests trying to lure people in. We have volcano nymphs dancing around because their volcanoes are now coming to life. And we have a giant catfish that doesn't take kindly from people stealing water from his kingdom. And then we just end it with just a slight mention saying, oh yeah, by the way, this stuff is still going around in Russia. We'll deal with it eventually. Just, no. I need closure on that. That's what irritated me through this whole book. Was this one unaddressed? We didn't get any solutions or anything. It just went unaddressed. It just threw out there. So, Izana working her little magic fingers. Realizes she needs to give Nikolai more magic, right? So just, killing off normal people won't do. And, she's siphoning all that power and giving it to him while he's sleeping without his knowing. It's like, really, dude, you had a clear mind and you're thinking all these thoughts. Surely this wouldn't be your thoughts. I would think that, it's evil magic corrupting him. So I'll let that one slide. She goes after Jelena and kills her. But for a second, Jelena does have like a human character moment. So I'm like thinking, okay. And she convinces Renata, in a way, to help Nikolai. She gives Renata Jelena's power so Nikolai can siphon it off of Renata. Who does get some magic in a way. Not that much, but me. And oh my god, all the murder attempts Nikolai tries on Pasha, while Pasha and Vika are trying to clean up the mess by saying, to the Russian people, oh yeah, magic exists. Vika's trying to do cleanup duty, while Yelena's like saying, okay, we gotta find out how to kill Nikolai. He's just doing it. Murder attempt after another, people, and blaming it on the Zarvek and his witch. Because, people are afraid of magic. Well, thank you, Nikolai, because there's a bunch of witch burnings going around, and while Pasha is trying to get a bunch of girls with red hair out of the country, Vika gets her magic kaput for a while, because, stuff. Okay. So, for historical accuracy going around, we're getting closer to where the constitutional monarchy is probably going to be introduced. So I'm freaking out with all of this going on. Like, let's just add on more chaos. And apparently, one soldier I did like in the beginning is part of this. Well, he's kind of swayed because he sees it. It's Ilya, the guard that always knew about Pasha going off and stuff. He's a good guy. He has his heart in the right place. I don't see him as a real evil. He just has his heart in the right place, and he sees this as a moment. So, we got some generals going around saying we should have a constitutional monarchy. One person suggests democracy, and so I was like, you saw what happened with France. That's not working out. So I was like, well, the United States is a young country. They're not as old as we are. Hey, America! So, yeah, we got that going on. And who decides to anoint himself as the new monarch for the constitutional monarchy? Nikolai! Oh, yeah. So, luckily, Vika finds out about Izana, and we take care of that mess, even though she's been funneling evil magic into Nikolai, And of course, Yelena wants execution. So yeah, we're about to get rid of this woman. I mean, like seriously, I'm thinking, thank God, when she's gone, everything will go back to normal. But no, Nikolai gets there, and Vika gives him a moment. She says she felt sorry that she never got to reconcile or have say her goodbye to her father, Sergei. So she gives him the moment, but after Izana confesses to Nikolai, saying that she killed Jelena and used Renetta to give him magic, I don't know what Vika was thinking. I mean, putting gators in a cell with Izana perched on a platform, and Nikolai just went boop and released the gators and dropped the days. I am gonna say Izana got a very gruesome death. But alligators, really, Vika? Are there even gators in Russia? I don't know. But after that, Nikolai goes off the deep end. He goes all more evil, because that's when Vika gets her magic postponed for a while, and the coup is about to begin. But I like how we have to we saw more of Vika's rat in play. I like him. He's so cute. He's a character of his own. Well, Vika finds out about the coup because they're actually moving it from the day of the coronation because Pasha with his disguises found out about it, so they were gonna do it. They were gonna try to stop it and everything. But so Nikolai proposes that because of how the military has to acknowledge the Tsar and everything, they will refuse and the revolt shall begin. Well, this was the best evolution of Pasha. I mean, because Vika, she realizes she can be more without magic. She can be more herself, and she's gonna make her own destiny. She's gonna defy the leaves and everything. And so, Vika has her moment of growth where she feels like this bracelet, even though it binds me and everything, I'm still my person. I can still try to save Nikolai and Pasha together and everything. Nikolai's meh. But Pasha, when it finally comes down to the moment, he says, I am the Zarfik and I will become Tsar. Even though we now found that he is legitimate because, letters and information. Yelena found what she needed. Pasha helped out. We found out that Pasha is the legitimate Tsar for the Tsardom, but he decides, I will become Tsar. I was like, oh my god. So, it all comes down to a battle at St. Petersburg with Nikolai on his team, Pasha on his team, and Vika trying to make sure no one dies. We was include epic battle, but it's epic and magical, but I feel like it's easily finished. I mean, Vika gets injured, and Pasha and Nikolai stop to go to her. They try to heal her, and then they do. Even Yelena offered to give up some of her energy, everything. And everyone's happy. I mean, of course, the Imperial Guard is trying to get those who rebelled and everything. But I felt people died, but found too wrapped up. I mean, everyone's thinking, okay, we were actually all part together because Pasha found out an old poem by Plato saying that the two coins that are cut in half always find each other, thus connection. Working for Nikolai and Rika, apparently, but I'm still hashtag Visha and everything. So it was always going to be Nikolai and Vika. Pasha would always have Yelena, who was always the other half of him. In a way, they are a good team, but a lot of people saw Yelena as part of the old Tsardom, so they weren't gonna be too happy with her. But they all knew Pasha was generous and all that stuff and everything. And Pasha vows to become a better Tsar than his father and everything. And so yeah, we have the coronation. Pasha becomes Tsar. We have 2 Imperial Enchanters. Hello, did I not say that from the beginning? Some people are starting to be open-minded to magic. No more what calls for witches and everything. And of course, my most pet peeve is that we got magic running around, and they'll figure out how to deal with that eventually. So yeah, is Izana's fault. If we had just taken care of her and everything, I mean, we could have figured a solution, because apparently when Vika touched Nikolai for the very first time in this whole entire friggin' book, he returned to his normal self. He was no longer a shadow. Izana, if I had my way at you, babe, you would have been down the second I saw you. And we could have avoided this whole situation. It's one of those alternate realities that we don't know what would happen, but who knows. So yeah. The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Sky. 4 out of 5 stars, second and conclusion to the Crown's game. So much happened, but it was all basically a revenge plot for Nikolai and Vika trying to figure out who she wanted, and Pasha coming to terms to become Tsar. That kind of wraps it all up, basically. If we didn't have Izana around, you know. And so, we saw Ludmilla and Renenda have tea and realized we can make our own fates. They're not decided. So yeah. I enjoyed it. Netflix, pick this up as a TV series. I will pay for a Netflix account. And yeah. The Crown's Fate, people edited by Evelyn Sky. If you want a story that takes place in Russia with all kinds of beautiful scenery and exquisite food, I recommend you pick this book up. Okay, pick up the first book and then get this book, because it was good. It's amazing. 4 out of 5 stars, people. So yeah, that's as far as I can get into this. My name is Sarah, and bye!